me quickly go to Mr. Miyaki, who is the Commissioner for Information. Commissioner, please forgive us because, you know, we really want to celebrate the return or let's say the rescue. Some people have said it's unclear what term to really use. But what we know is that the people who were abducted have now returned. And I'm sure that a lot of people are relieved to see that these people have been returned in one piece. However, you know, we've just seen that it appears that just when we're about to rejoice over one, we'll hear that, oh, in another community, people have been taken as well. But can you give us, what exactly did it take to secure the safe return of these abductees who were numbered at about, is it 21? How many of them were returned yesterday?
Well, yesterday we had 89, and then in total we have 183.
What can you tell us, you know, help facilitate their safe return?
It's okay. Good morning once again, Nigerians. And I want to, on behalf of His Excellency, the Governor and Kaduna State Government, extend our condolences to the government and people of Kwara State for this very sad incident that happened in Kwara State. However, I wish to also inform Nigerians what is happening in Kaduna is uniquely part of the Kaduna peace model. You know, is a non-kinetic strategy that is anchored in community engagement. So basically, it is a proactive strategy that actually involve negotiation with, dialogue, you know, with community members, traditional institutions, you know, and other key leaders of communities, you know. So we thank God. His Excellency is excited because he made a promise the day this sad incident, the 18th of January, happened. When he visited this community, he made a pledge of ensuring that no one is hurt, no one will be left behind. And we thank God, we give God the glory. All the victims are back. You know, against every odd, His Excellency worked around the clock with the security agencies, and we thank God that they are back, and we are in the process of reintegrating these members of the community, these victims, with their community in Kurmanwali.
All right, you say it's part of the peace model that has enabled the return of this, of those who were taken. But clearly, it does appear that the peace model did not prevent them from being taken. Is that correct?
Of course, we are not declaring victory with the peace model, saying it's working effectively, you know, to work against prevention. But what it does show is that the strategy has worked very effectively, particularly in ensuring, working with the security agencies, and then as well as ensuring the non-kinetic approach has also worked, has yielded results. What is important, you know, is to ensure that nobody is, we lose anybody. The most important thing is not losing one person out of this number. You know, but then we're also deepening this process of engagement across all communities, not just in Kajuru or Kurmanwali, ensuring that we have one strategy that works across, you know, Kaduna State is a very large landmass. I think from Niger State, Kaduna is one of the largest in landmass and is bordered by about 8 states. So, of course, this process takes time. Remember, this is just the 2.5 years of His Excellency, the Governor. We are working to ensure that this is endangered, this is deepened in all communities across Kaduna State. Not just for this incident, for even subsequent, you know, protection of people and their properties across Kaduna is a priority.
You know, I'm taking a look at the people who were returned. First, you can see that they were all brought in wearing the same outfit. They're mostly women and children. You can see babies still at their mother's breast. Very few young men. First and foremost, was it the idea of the state government to get them dressed in the same thing? I'm just a little curious as to...
Okay, getting these people having spent this number of days. Remember, this incident happened on the 18th of January. So this is quite a number of days. We're already on the 6th. So it requires that these people have not had their bath over time. Some have trekked over distances, and they require a whole sort of process of profiling and ensuring that they are in good state. There are the process of ensuring they had very good medical examination, being evaluated, and then, of course, ensuring that they have a proper medical and social mental care. Of course, we cannot leave them in the tattered nature they came out from the bushes. So this is one of the process. We have a standard, family house where is a facility owned by the state government. All of them were taken there, to ensure that first they were given medical attention. Like the first set that returned before yesterday, have been given their beds and ensuring that before they are united with their families, this medical evaluation has taken place, and then the psychosocial support is rendered to these people so that they go back and you're united with dignity to their communities. Of course, the media ethics will not even allow us to show them to the public in the state where they return. So that is basically it. That is what happened, MOPE.
All right. I'm very concerned. You mentioned this peace model, and I think that, over and over again, we have heard about Kaduna and the peace model. You have since said that it's not that you have declared victory, but I think that for a number of people, they keep wondering, how do you even negotiate peace with people who, because I do not know if it's a negotiation, what exactly it is. You can tell us what it is. You just talked about a peace model. What it really entails is unclear to us. What we do know is that people were taken, they've returned safely, we're glad to see them. However, people will wonder, will this happen again? Is this something that will be a recurrent decimal? What sort of people, go to a church or go to communities where people are worshiping and abduct them, willy-nilly? Doesn't matter whether they are women with babies at the breast, they abduct everybody, forcefully take them away, and we can speak of peace with this sort of people who seem to be very conscienceless.
Well, I think for the records, it is important to send these records. This peace dialogue we're talking about is not with the criminals. We're talking about community-based dialogue. It is the function of the security agencies. Yes, they are faced with the challenges of lacking enough manpower, but of course, the security agencies, led the process of rescuing these victims. So it is not a negotiation with the criminals. We do not know these bandits. We do not pay these bandits. Like you have said, these are people that are heartless, who are attacking communities defenselessly. So, of course, when I say dialogue, I do not mean dialoguing with criminals. It's dialoguing with community members, because whatever peace you see happen in any community starts with the community.
Yeah, and the community members the one carrying out, sorry to interrupt you, are the community members the one carrying out the abductions? What exactly are the conversations about?
Of course, the community members cannot abduct themselves. What I am saying, the peace dialogue is engaging with the community. Now, if you engage with the communities can give you early warning signs, for you to act before even these incidences happen. It's a proactive way of engaging the community. I'm just giving you an overview of what the peace model is about. But in this particular incident of Kurmunwali, since it happened, the security agencies, I must comment at this point, the DSS, the military, and of course the police, who have worked round the clock to ensure the return of these victims. It is not an engagement with the criminals. It is the effort, of course, driven by the security agencies, because they are the ones who have been charged by law, by the Constitution, to lead in the issue of security operations. But of course, the governor, using the model, provides every support, to ensure that this happens across Kaduna State.
Can I ask what becomes, just a moment, Commissioner, can I ask, because, Kurmin Wale was quite an embarrassment. Initially, when these people were abducted, we had a security briefing that happened in Kaduna State, and then we heard in the press briefing, the briefing afterwards, that security meeting, the local government chairman saying that no such thing happened, the Commissioner of Police warning those who carried fake news to beware, and that they will not tolerate any such false news coming out of, they will not accept those who peddle false news in Kaduna State. And then shortly after, a day after, or even less than how many hours after, we had to hear a confirmation coming from the federal police. It was this confirmation came from the force headquarters that indeed there was an abduction in Kurmin Wale, and this number of people were taken away. And then, we now saw the governor moving into that community, visiting the people, listening to their stories, with the promise that these people will be returned, those who have been taken. And I believe that this is a fulfillment of his pledge to that particular community. However, the tragedy of the misinformation from state quarters still remains, and people are asking questions as to what will happen, what accountability measures are being put in place to make sure that people who come out and without confirmation, who were the ones who gave the false information in the first instance, that they are held accountable to their own words. What exactly is happening to the commissioner, not the commissioner now, the local government chairman of Kurmin Wale?
Well, like you have mentioned, the police have been able to set the record straight. The headquarters of the Nigerian police have made it very clear to Nigerians the particular incident that happened. What we are actually avoiding as a state government is politicizing this particular incident. You will recall that the very popular figure across all the media platform is saying 177 people were abducted. Of course, for us as a government, whether it is 177 or one person, we are indeed very concerned. But the return of the victims yesterday had shown all the people that have peddled the information about 177 were false. People gave out a list saying 177, whereas it is 183. So for us as a state government, and of course my Ministry of Information, we're working closely to ensure that, misinformation, because misinformation can always mislead the public. And what is key to us is that once this confirmation was made, because we all run to the security agencies, like the last guest you had, or who is currently in the studio, is talking about how the security need to be beefed up and how they need to respond to emergencies like this.
Yeah, Honorable Commissioner, it doesn't answer the question as to what accountability measures are being applied to the local government. Let's get to that quickly, please, because we're almost out of time.
We are already, like, part of the component of the peace, Kaduna peace model is one that ensures verification of any incident before we rush to the media. So the mechanism that will ensure, of course, we cannot bring to account the work of the police, but that of the local government chairman and across the state, the mechanism will be strengthened to ensure that public is not misled. And then, of course, people who are conflict merchants are able to verify figures before going to the public, not just the council chairman, but the public and, of course, the media.
Okay, well, you haven't said much about whether the council chairman will resign, whether he's resigning, because really that was an embarrassing situation, not just for that particular local government chairman, but also for the Kaduna State government.
The council chairman does not live in the community. He also, predicated his comments based on what the police have said. So, and the police are the first responder.
Unfortunately, sorry, Commissioner, I don't think you listened to the testimony of Khan when they spoke with us, because they said that the local government chairman visited their community, was in the middle of a meeting with them, and he knew that those number of people were abducted before he came to that Security Council meeting, where he decided to give a different tale.
In as much as we are ready to provide information, I think revisiting what Khan said, because the same Khan that you talked about were the same group that mentioned 177. I don't want to sound insensitive to the plight of the victims, but then it is clear that the information they provided to the public is not correct. They said 177, and yesterday we had 183 people.
Well, debating numbers 177, 183. So they said 177 were abducted. You were able to bring back successfully 183.
That is the key. That is very key, Mope. It is very important to set this record straight.
So I'm glad that you have said that. Just a moment, Commissioner. I'm glad that you have set that record straight, and we have that on record, that 183 people were successfully returned. But it is a very different circumstance from saying that people, 177 were abducted, and somebody says no such incident happened. Those are two very contrasting elements, and I think that it is very important for us to be able to place weight where it really, really matters. If a commissioner or a commissioner of police or a local government chairman who is responsible for an area says that people were not abducted when they were abducted, that certainly should call for some measure of accountability. You do not agree?
That has been taken. I told you already, His Excellency the Governor has set up a team to ensure that this investigation is done. And then not just for this particular incident, a mechanism is set in place to ensure that there is no occurrence of such. Of course, after this probe is completed, if the local government chairman needs to be brought to account, that will be done. But what is important for us to note as Nigerians is the return of these people. And then, like you have said, you have the governor was in this community where he made a pledge of ensuring that nobody is lost in this incident, and everybody has returned. He has made a pledge about constructing a road from the very beginning to the community. That work has begun. The health facility and the skill acquisition center is already happening.
So all right, Commissioner. All right, we hear you. We certainly will follow up on those promises that the governor has made. We know that usually when he does that, he lives up to it. We've seen what happened in Tudumbiri and a number of other places. So we have to thank you, but I think it's very important to also say that we'll be looking to see what happens with the accountability measures, with the outright lies told about the abduction or otherwise of the people of Krumimwali. We have to thank you so much for speaking with us this morning. Mr. Ahmed Meyaki is the Commissioner of Information in Kaduna State. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Welcome.